pretty handy to have another starter basically in that there, isn't it?
Yeah, he was terrific. But I think one of the things we were just talking about that's I don't think he looks at that. There's some guys that they come in that situation and think that they got to get 5 innings or 6 innings or something like that. Obviously, we know he can do that. But the thing that people will forget about, because I'm sure you're going to write about his relief stint, but the thing that won the game probably was coming in there in the second and in the bases loaded jam and getting 2 strikeouts. They're right there in the middle of their lineup, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure who. I knew Julian was one of them. I'm not sure if it was Wright or Venter being the other, but just a huge opportunity to get us off the field, and give our offense a chance.
Greenhill kind of settled in a little bit, but you hit a lot. I said that their reliever kind of settled in too, but you hit a lot of balls hard till it opened up.
Yeah, and it was just a little funky, and you can see why he's so good and good velocity, but I think sneaky fast. We just didn't get the bat around. You're right. There was a lot of it was kind of a frustrating day there in the middle of the innings where we got beat by a lot of fastballs. He was able to mix enough breaking balls in there, but it was really kind of a funky motion and a ball that ran into the right-handers and beat a lot of bats. And but one of the things about this offense is they play all 27 outs. I mean, they really do. And even when we look up and they have 3 runs and we only have 4 hits, and it looks like maybe this is the day that's going to be a tough offensive day. They end up putting up a run in the 7th, and then of course a 6th spot in the 8th, and they're relentless.
Y'all had not swept anybody this year, Mike. Yeah. What was your message to these guys before the game?
Well, that was it. I mean, we haven't been in this opportunity. Amazingly, is we've played so well this year, but in SEC play, we haven't won the first 2 games of any series, and so we've never had the opportunity where we didn't get it done on Sunday or day 3. And so the message was what a big deal it is, how hard it is to sweep in our league, and obviously because it took us 9 weeks to do it. But today, one of the things you hear me say, and you've heard me say so many times, that we show up. But today was you have to show up today if you want to have a chance to win the West and keep a lot of the goals that we have in place. You got to show up today, and they did.
Was it just fastball command with James? Would you kind of say?
Yeah, he just for some reason, and usually he cuts himself off and he pulls a lot of balls. Today it was a lot of arm side high balls, so it was really different for him. And against a good offense, we pitched it really well this weekend. We talked so much about our offense, and deservingly so. But this weekend we really pitched it, and against what I consider a really good offense. And he struggled with his command, which is not him. And against that good offense, they'll make you pay quickly.
Was Caracci already hot when they started the run?
Yeah, we were going to go to him because Will was done. He did what he was supposed to do and some, and we were going to Caracci. And then as it started to get a little out of hand, you've heard me say it before. You don't like putting those guys in that situation. But one is we've already had Holston up. I already have him up. He's our best strike thrower. There's not a better strike thrower on the team than him. And if I sit him down and put somebody else up, I'm going to feel bad if I have to bring him back in. So just figured, hey, let him relax a little bit. Lord knows he deserves it.
10 runs today, 8 yesterday. I know you guys expected the offense to be a lot better this season coming in, but has this even surprised you a little bit at all?
I don't like using the word surprise. I don't think that's fair. I think we've talked from the get-go that we thought we could be a good offense, and there's some guys that we're proud of, and I think one of the things that we've talked so much about is the reason the offense is so good is it comes from a lot of different parts. Even today, Anthony Servideo, comes off the bench and gets the big single that scores the first run. Michael Fitzsimmons comes off the bench, gets a big double, scores 2. You look at Keenan and Cockrell yesterday that did all the damage in the 7 and 8 hole, and everybody knows about the guys in the middle and the top of the lineup that have played so well. So the reason that we're good is we've been able to do it with a lot of different parts, and that's I think why so many times and we're able to score runs, because Dillard can't do it every day, and Linnet can't do it every day. You got to have it from different people, and we surely have.
You mentioned even the beginning of the week about not being able to hide all the regional projections and national seed talk. Even when close game, the first game, you guys trail early today, it seems like you guys don't panic, don't press. Is that kind of the demeanor of this team?
I think so, and we don't talk about that there. We'll talk in practice. Sometimes we'll talk in pregame meetings, and we'll talk about being where your feet are and all the things that you hear, and control the controllables and all those things. But it's much easier said than done. And these guys, they enjoy playing. They play the game really well. They're very talented, but they enjoy playing. And you're right, you don't really know that until you get going. But this deep into it, 50-something games into it, you're right. They, I don't think they're scoreboard watching. I don't think they're looking at. They're just, trying to do their job. And I'm proud of them for that.
Cortez graduates in 3 years. That's hard to do for anybody. Nevertheless,
that's pretty impressive. Yeah, pretty impressive. We had 4 of them graduate, and that's always a neat day. It's tough because I almost feel bad because it happens, on a home weekend, at the end of the season where, they go to graduation and parents, and I'm sure it's a stressful time that they got to be up in the morning and then, get them here. Will Golson didn't get out to the field. He missed stretch and comes out in the middle of the batting practice during the first round. And so, but it's neat. It's what it's all about. It's not cliche. It's really a cool thing. So proud of all those guys. But you're right. I don't. Not that I can remember if we ever had a guy do it 3 years.